Hello there. Back again at an English stream this time around. I have not been actively streaming that much on my like English Twitch channel due to a few reasons. One of it just being, since I usually like focus on playing the Horrorverse games here, I'm just not that satisfied with like the content they currently have. Since all of the free games are like kind of in a period of just actually waiting for the next big like version to release. Be it Netland for Genshin, be it Penacony for Star Rail, be it part 2 for Honkai Impact 3rd. And yeah. But like the event content they do, I didn't feel like it's that exciting. But yeah, my plan for this stream is to nonetheless catch up on some of the events and do it on stream. I may be skipping through some of them though if like their plot is not that interesting. It's just like for casually chill, play through them all. And it was fun. I'm not sure if this one will even be voiced.
Huh?
Oh, it will be.
Over there by the hot pot stand. We know them. Huh? Traveler, Paimon, you're here too?
And yeah,
Hey, Shinobu! Here for some hot pot, huh? What's the occasion?
as you can see, yeah, I switched some of the mods around I used for them.
No, it's nothing like that. Wanmin restaurant's just closed for a couple of days. But it's nice to try somewhere different for a change. Su Arnyang's hot pot is pretty good, and you can't get it at Wanmin restaurant. Wanmin's closed? Why? What happened? Well, it was partly our fault. Recently, some old classmates from the Tongwen Academy got in touch and said they were organizing a get-together. Yenfei's the most senior among us, since she's the most qualified, so she got to pick the location. And she booked Wanmin Restaurant. The turnout was a lot higher than expected, and in the space of 2 days, we somehow got through all of the restaurant's stock for the week ahead. Boss's enormous appetite was also a significant contributing factor. He went a little crazy. Chef Mao was pretty wiped out by the end, but he had a huge smile on his face. It was the best business he's had in months.
They really must have like had a lot of the like can kill a week's worth of food in 2 days. Wow. But I'm not surprised that you're like doing trouble again, since this is like also an event focused around Arataki Itto and just like beetle fighting. I'm expecting a lot of shenanigans and stupidity.
The only thing is, it'll take him at least a couple days to fully restock. Bull Checker's here too? Paimon's surprised we haven't seen him. Those horns stick out like two sore thumbs. Yeah, when he heard I was meeting up with some old classmates, he got very excited and decided he was coming with me. His logic was, and I quote, "Any classmate of Shinobu's is a classmate of mine." Notwithstanding the fact that Boss has never studied a day in his life, I think he just feels that he didn't get enough chances to indulge his taste buds last time he was in Liyue. That other kid you guys brought with you, though, what was his name again? Oh yeah, Grandmaster Hanakato. He seems like a smart cookie. You probably didn't notice because you were busy chatting to your classmates at the time, but he was helping Chef Mao out in the kitchen, trying to pick up some Liyue cooking skills. I suspect he just wanted to learn how to make some new dishes to feed to his Oni Kabuto and make them stronger. Grandmaster Hanakato? Where do we know that name from? Oh yeah! Didn't we meet him during that beetle battle thing that Bullchucker organized that one time?
That was one of the previous events. This event has been long past by the time I start streaming, so we haven't like done it on stream.
That's right. Good memory, Paimon. After the near catastrophe that was the Beetle Brawl, Hanakato became an ally of the Arataki gang. He and Boss regularly hang out to have practice matches and discuss Onikabuto rearing strategies. But to his credit, a lot of the things he ropes Boss into doing in the name of beetle brawling actually result in Boss doing some real work for a change. It's made things a lot easier for me. For instance, they've decided to spend a few days helping Chef Mao restock the kitchen. Partly to thank him for the epic feast. And partly because they would like to use the opportunity to look for new ingredients to boost their Onikabuto's performance.
I think they're out looking for crabs at Guyun Stone Forest right now, with Miss Xiangling and Mr. Guoba.
Ignore that message. That's just like being annoying advertisement again. I hate it, like, Church apparently seems to have some trouble with that. But hey.
They all seem to get along great. Guoba's already made friends with Crimson Staff, as Itto calls it, and, something Beetle King, or whatever Hanakato's is called. They've been out for quite a while, though. Shouldn't they be back by now?
Unless something put them in a playful mood. In which case, it's anyone's guess what kind of mess they might be in by now.
Well, now Paimon wants to join in the fun! Crabs from Guyun Stone Forest? Paimon bets they taste great! Why don't we go see if they need our help? The sooner Wanmi restaurant is fully stocked, the sooner we get to eat there again! And while we're at it, we can see what Bullchucker and Grandmaster Hanakato are really up to over there.
So you two are gonna head over?
I think that's a great idea! The Traveler, Paimon, and Itto make a good team. Not everyone can get through to him, but he usually listens to you two.
You make a good point. Well, thanks for checking up on them, you two.
Alright. Oh, he's like way over there. I'm expecting this storyline to get like quite silly again. But yeah. I also was talking about earlier that like I had some reasons for not streaming that much, in English at least, is that I have been focusing on streaming in German for a bit. For those who are interested, check out my YouTube channels. Because I got some projects running there which I would like to finish up soon because I have others I want to start. And yeah, I want to like at least progress on 2 projects before I start anything new, just so it's not like getting too much.
Ah, I see it now. A hard shell, a whole bunch of legs, looks like a born warrior. The crab is the Onikabuto of the sea! Throw one of these bad boys in the ring and your Onikabuto will have to seriously up its game.
That's right, Oni King! Technically, the crab belongs to a different species, but it has all the qualities of the perfect warrior beetle. Pitting Onikabuto against crabs during their training is a surefire way to rapidly improve their strength.
Then it's time for Crimson Staff and Ironclad Beetle King to train harder than ever before! No rest until they've flipped every crab in the area onto its back. And once they're done, we'll just need to stoop down and scoop them up. No more chasing crabs all over the beach. La 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 la. Looks like Xiangling and Guoba are part of the gang now. Traveler here! Are you guys out for a walk or something? Hey, Xiangling! Hey, Guoba! Well, we were going to gorge ourselves at one mean restaurant, but then we ran into Yanfei and Shinobu, who told us you were closed for a few days. So we figured we'd come find you guys and see if you needed any help. Aw, you guys! Thanks for being such loyal customers. It's so kind of you to help. With Mr. Itto and the Grandmaster helping me for the last couple of days, we've actually got most of the things we need now. All that's left for us to get are some fresh crabs.
Why is you're going to referring to us as customers? We are like offering more help as friends, not customers, but hey. And apparently they're trying to catch some fresh crabs, but it looks like more that like Itto are out to battle them than actually like catch them.
And Crimson Staff and Ironclad Beetle King will be able to round them up for us in no time. If everything goes to plan. Uh-oh. I may have spoken too soon. It's a geofiship hatchling! Bullchecker! Hanakata, watch out!
Hold on, stay calm. I'll assess the situation. Hard shell? Check. Legs? Not too many, but it more than makes up for that with the whole rolling thing. Yeah, looks like a mean fighter. This is what you want to train your Onikabuto against.
How right you are, Oni King. With a training partner like this, an Onikabuto is sure to reach the apex of its abilities.
I feel like Itto's only being stupid again.
Are they serious right now? Wait, I think I recognize that thing. It's always rolling around on a nearby island. It's made quite a reputation for itself as far as Guyun geoviships go. People have taken to calling it Crystal Tornado. It's because if you ever set foot on its little island, then it whooshes over and gives you a nasty whack on the head. It's really aggressive. How did you come to learn that?
Let me just whack it back.
Oni King, allow me to send in the troops. I shall monitor the battle from a safe distance to assess our enemy's prowess. Go, Ironclad Beetle King! Test your challenger to its limits! Ironclad Beetle King!
Wow. Who'd expected
One hit
that?
and it's all over? I don't believe it. That's not possible. Okay, listen up, Grandmaster. The glorified pet rock is clearly tougher than it looks. Time to show it what we're really made of. From what I've seen, our opponent has a lot of brute force, but no finesse. Lugging all that weight around is a recipe for crude and clumsy attacks. And if you don't land the hit, it ain't worth squat. Luckily for us, our Onikabuto have a little thing called agility on their side. Go, Crimson Staff! Dodge the limbs and tail, wait for an opening, and aim for the...
This is so stupid.
Belly.
Oni King, shall I send in some more Onikabuto, or...
What?
Hey there, Goba.
Wait, what's Koba doing? No! Wait, the bishop can understand Guoba? Huh, it just up and left. So, to answer your question from a moment ago, Paimon, I found out about Crystal Tornado's aggressive tendencies the last time we came to gather crabs in Guyunstone Forest. Tornado gave Goba a big old bash on the head the moment he saw him. But then Tornado fell unconscious, and apparently wasn't seen for weeks afterwards. I guess he's finally recovered from his injuries.
I mean, we know from one of like the Lyuran stories that Kuroba has been forward some kind of adaptive before. But Jesus. Why is Robo so powerful when he wants to be?
Man, what a cool guy. I mean, I figured he was a pretty epic dude just from the look of him, but I've never seen someone just stare an enemy into submission like that. There's only one possible conclusion. This is a warrior with strength, the likes of which I've never seen before.
I must say, I concur. I don't know how, but Guoba-san simply commanded that hard-shelled beast to stand down and retreat at once. Come to think of it, he seems like a pro at catching crabs, too. Guoba-san clearly has some sort of power that lets him bend the minds of shelled organisms to his will. Ah, that's it! The truth has been hiding in plain sight all this time. Guoba-san is a virtuoso beetle battler. With his skills, he can direct an Oni Kabuto's each and every move.
Huh?
My thoughts exactly, Gorba.
Of course. Yeah, that makes total sense. These are the kind of brainwaves that make you the Arataki Gang's greatest ally. You see, if we can get Guoba-san to teach us the art of shelled organism mind control, we'll be unstoppable. The entire beetle fighting world will be our oyster.
Can we stop discussing what special powers Guoba may or may not have? We have to get these crabs back before too long or they'll go bad. And then this whole trip will have been a waste. Right! Get a move on, Bullchucker! Shinobu's waiting for you! Also, we want to eat?
Huh? Wait, when did we get 2 new people?
Of course, Paimon wants to eat.
Oh, compadre! If it isn't the Oni King's right hand. Oh, and of course, the flying lavender... sorry. Sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon. Wait. Oh, man. Don't tell me you saw me lose that beetle fight just now. Oh, so humiliating.
I think we've seen before. Very true.
Oh, come on! There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Oni Kabuto don't stand a chance against the Geovishap hatchling. Next time, just give it a couple of whacks with your club.
But that would defeat the whole purpose. Let me explain. Now, it's no secret that you've kicked a fair share of butt in your time. And from what I hear, that includes some of the biggest, most powerful, and meanest butt around. So how'd you do it, huh? Were you born stronger than your most fearsome foe? No! Do you rock up to every fight believing that your odds of winning are 100%? Of course not. You start with an impossible goal, defeating the unbeatable enemy. And then you do whatever you gotta do to achieve it. Because even you can't know how much potential you have until you push yourself past your limits. That's how you make yourself not just stronger, but stronger than you ever imagined you could be.
Sad to disappoint you, Itto, but we do have some innate powers which actually make us stronger. And to be more exact, we're actually currently kind of debuffed when you compare them to the state before they like arrived into to begin with. But hey, you do you.
Flee the fight once, you'll probably flee the next time. And the time after that. Next thing you know, you're that boring little twerp who never had the guts to put himself out there. Because when you flee the fight, all you're really running away from is the person you could have become.
What's gotten into Bullchucker? He actually said something that made sense. For once, Paimon has nothing to argue back. You hear that? Boba's getting hungry. Crystal Tornado's gone now anyway, and your Oni Kabuto won't be ready to fight again anytime soon. So, are you just gonna stand here gawking, or...?
Chef-sama makes a good point. We are still far from being worthy enough to seek the tutelage of the mighty sensei, Guoba-san. I have heard tell of a great contest of fine warriors that was once held in this place. We stand on hallowed ground, and the very air we breathe is abuzz with the might of great duelists. I say we set up a ring here and now. I shall summon the mightiest beetle battlers of Liyue, and as iron sharpens iron, We will hone our skills and training with them. Then and only then will we be ready to seek the guidance of Kuoba-san. Once we have learned his ways, we will track down that shelled beast and do battle against it once more.
Paimon's got a feeling about this, but not actually sure if it's a good one or a bad one.
I would say a bad one.
Oh, I'm with you, Grandmaster. Yeah, you're saying the time has come to unveil the plan. This is the moment. It's time for the long-awaited Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp.
That's right! There's no time to lose, Oni King. Let's set up the arena.
Hey! We weren't done talking to you yet! Ugh, unbelievable. Look at them. Not a care in the world.
I don't want to choose either of these options. I'm not that hooked on it, actually.
What did they say it was called again? The Arataki something something? Anyway, some sort of beetle fighting tournament, right? I think Hanakato might have mentioned it before. If I wasn't so busy with work at the restaurant, I'd love to take Woba along and watch. But right now, the top priority is dealing with all these fresh crabs. Come on, let's head back. Shinobu was saying the Arataki gang came to Liyue for her classmates' reunion, right? Won't throwing an impromptu beetle fighting competition interfere with their plans? Well, not much we can do about it except head back to Wanmin and tell Shinobu.
And probably give her another headache. Poor Shinobu always has to, like, clean up after Arataki Itto.
Yanbei, Shinobu, we're back!
Guoba, Xiangling, Traveler, and Paimon. Wait, where are the other two? Let me guess. Itto and Hanakato are up to their usual antics?
We'll fill you in shortly. First, I need to get all these pristine ingredients safely stored away. The mistflower corollas won't keep the crabs cool for much longer. Plus, the Traveler and Paimon are valued customers, eagerly awaiting a grand feast. I'll get cooking, then we can catch up while we eat.
Thank you for the meal from ingredients collected on the trip. It's not long before an exceptional meal is served. Sweet. At least like one positive thing out of this, I guess. I definitely would like to want to try Xiangling's cooking. Okay, we tell them about
Arataki
the antics.
Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp? That doesn't bode well. It won't be long before things get out of hand. We're guests here, which means we're supposed to be on our best behavior. Leave them to me. I'll put a stop to it.
I don't know. I think it could be fun. Anyway, don't stress. Beetle fighting sounds like a great event idea.
Hey there, Shanna.
According to the Comprehensive Compendium of Liyue Law, we just need to notify the relevant office of the Ministry of Civil Affairs, and they'll issue a permit pretty much right away.
You're doing fine. What about you?
You never know. Maybe you'll make some new friends with this event. Then you'll have even more people to hang out with when you next come to Liyue. Yeah, and you can bring them all to Wanmin Restaurant for your meals.
Wait, first the event, and now you're already planning our next trip? Given the Arataki gang's financial situation...
Ah, come on. You gotta learn to cut loose more. You came all this way. You should be focused on catching up with old friends, making some new ones, and just generally hanging out and doing lots of fun stuff. I need to be at the Ministry of Civil Affairs shortly for something else anyway, so I can get the ball rolling for Itto's thing while I'm there. Alright, I'll handle that while you guys head back to Itto and help get the venue set up. I'll join you later and bring the permit with me.
We're actually having them do this.
Yanfei is in a good mood today. She didn't take any persuading to help out with the event. Well, event planning's right up her alley. She was an officiator in the Masterful Chefs contest, and she has a lot of contacts because of her work. She's also on vacation at the moment, and her old friend Shinobu's in town. That's definitely put her in the mood to have some fun.
Well, I've missed my chance to discuss the issue of our funds. Guess I've got no choice but to deal with Boss directly now. Traveler, Paimon, thanks for all your help so far. I promise I'll make it up to you the next time we meet.
You mean you don't need us to come with you? Well, if Itto's serious about defeating that Geovishap hatchling with Oni Kabuto, Paimon's kinda curious to see how everything goes down.
Now that you mention it, didn't you help Boss out a lot at the last one of these? The almighty Arataki extraordinary and exhilarating extreme beetle brawl?
Oh, we didn't really help out. We just played a few matches. But it was actually super fun.
Either way, it sounds like you understand Boss's perspective far better than I do, so maybe you'll be able to help me talk some sense into him. I'll take all the help I can get.
Sure, or, maybe we could just let him go ahead with it, huh?
Maybe you don't notice it, but I'm actually not that much a fan of Itto's character, but hey. I'm kind of on Shinobu's side here. But I guess, why not?
All right, Boss. Fun time in Liyue is over. Let's head home.
Shinobu, I can explain.
No, you can't. Our funds have run out. We've spent too long here. After buying our tickets for the boat home, the gang fund is down to double digits. How can we possibly afford to hold a tournament? Yanfei-senpai very kindly offered to handle the legalities, otherwise you wouldn't even have a permit. Are you expecting her to foot the bill as well? Put a stop to this now, before things get out of control.
Well, we're strict about it, they're not like probably mine. The credit still like goes to like the mod creators, but yeah, they do look cool.
But you don't understand. We have a situation here. Normally, I'm happy to do things your way, but the Arataki gang's 2 top Oni Kabuto warriors just lost to some pet rock. Look, we have a whole arena set up and everything. If we back out now, we'll be the laughingstock of the entire beetle fighting world.
Really, she like sorted through all like the mods I have yesterday, because like I plan on like creating like a Google spreadsheet list, so I like which I can like link, so like actually I can like properly credit like the mod creators and like link to their sources with that, because with the amount there is, it's like quite hard to actually like credit and name everyone in like the description or so, things like that. If you don't have that much space, or it's like just a lot of work to do it every time. So like I wanna like create a proper list for it. So I just have to like link that list and like can update that list. But yeah, I still have like to work on creating that.
You've lost plenty of beetle fights before. Even I can beat you, and I'm not even a serious player. Why are you so bothered about losing to some Bishop hatchling?
Shinobu! That was a low blow. Anyway, that's ancient history. I'm on a whole different level now. There isn't a single beetle fighter out there who can touch me. I'm serious about beating that pet rock. Don't think I've got what it takes? And try me.
Gladly. You want to do this the hard way? We'll do it the hard way. Grandmaster Hanakato, get me and Boss a beetle each. Maybe he'll be more amenable to reason after a crushing defeat. If I win, you have to come back with me. No complaining, and no making any more trouble for Yanfei-senpai.
Shinobu, Oni King,
You're really doing this, huh? I didn't think you'd take it this far. Okay, so sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon, I delegate this challenge to you.
You're making Paimon fight me?
No surprises there.
Yep, he is really predictable.
What Bullchecker is really saying is, if you want to fight the Oni King, you have to go through sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon first.
Exactamundo, amigo. Sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon is one of the Arataki gang's top beetle fighters, but even she isn't in the same league as moi. So Shinobu, if you want to duel with the Don, you gotta beat the Milan.
Except... Paimon refuses.
What?
Even Paimon knows that you can't just expect other people to pick up your slack all the time. It's not right. So if you're out of Mora, then tough luck. You gotta watch your spending. If Paimon helps you out, that'll just make more trouble for Yanfei, and then Shinobu will owe her a favor.
Okay, true. You make a fair point. But it's all good. I have a backup plan for situations like this. If we really are out of funds, then, I'll find a job. I'll work nights, do beetle fighting during the day, pay any expenses out of my own pocket. It'll work. The Grandmaster has helped me find a few good gigs before. As long as it's physical work and the pay is good, I'll take it.
Now you're talking. See, that's the kind of attitude Paimon can get behind.
I can't believe you guys. Your plan is all well and good, and I do hope you try not to be a burden on other people. But you still need to beat me first. I know what Boss is trying to do. He's making me fight Paimon first to use up my Oni Kabuto stamina. Well, good luck with that. Even with a disadvantage, I'm still not gonna make this easy for you.
Alright. Yeah, this just was the tutorial for this. At least I find like the mini game at least a bit fun. It's like simple controls, but it's like it takes its simple concept and make something out of it. And we win against Shinobu.
I lost. I can't believe it.
That was so tense. Shinobu nearly got the better of Paimon there.
Hey, hey! Hey! Sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon destroys Shinobu on the first attempt! Woo! You really are natural at this, aren't you?
as agreed, we now have Shinobu's official support to host the Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp.
I haven't battled in ages. Guess I'm out of practice. I'll have to move to Plan B. Try to keep costs to a minimum, and make sure Yanfei-senpai doesn't end up doing everything for us. I'm gonna hold you to your word, boss. Fund this event yourself by working nights. Battle beetles all you want during the day. And one other thing. Our boat tickets home were booked well in advance. I can amend the date, but only by a few days. So, keep this event to maybe 4 or 5 other people tops, or you'll run out of time, okay? I don't want you getting carried away.
Got it. Sure, promise. Cross my heart and hope to die. Shinobu, you've got nothing to worry about.
Okay.
She got a lot
I'll
to
head down
worry
the
about.
harbor and see about changing the tickets. I'm warning you, you'd better not go spending all our mora while I'm gone.
Okay, so we've only got 5 battles to get in shape enough for Guoba-san. Then we gotta master what he teaches us, then take down that cocky pet rock. Shinobu is asking us to do the impossible here. But this is the kind of hardcore challenge I live for.
Don't worry, Oni King. I'll find people to join us in our great training endeavor. So long as there are worthy beetle battlers to be found, I'll be sure to sense their presence and bring them over to our camp. We haven't been in Liyue for long, but I'm certain that this vast land is filled with mighty warriors. We'll have no trouble finding but one of these each day.
I also always worry when Itto is around because he's always up a lot to like stupid stuff. He really has the talent to get himself into like trouble or like do stupid things.
Now, as for the esteemed Oni King's right hand and honorable sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon,
We've done our part. We saved your butts by getting Shinobu to agree to this. Paimon saw the look of sheer terror on your faces. You're clearly no match for her.
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm not that much of a fan who are of like characters who are just there for like comedic relief. And like Itto really is just like a comedic relief character. I kind of like do not enjoy characters like that. Especially since like Genshin doesn't really need like a dedicated comedic relief character.
Oh, of course. I will, leave it to me. I'll come up with something. You'll get your reward, don't you worry. In the meantime, if the Oni King's right hand and sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon don't have other plans, then prepare to watch history in the making. Because in a few short days, I, the bona fide Beetle Battle King, will raise my game to new heights, win the respect of Guoba-san, and become a living legend! Booyah!
Cool. Yeah, we'll be watching. So, no pressure or anything, but
Why is there like this echo effect on Paimon's voice right now?
if you mess this up and everyone completely wipes the floor with you, we'll see the whole thing.
The choice to put an echo effect on that is kind of random. It probably was like to make Paimon sound more intimidating, but it just like confused me more. I already know about the controls, so don't need to explain me this.
Hello, all. I am Iron Tongue Tien, here with an official signboard for the Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp. It also doubles as your permit to run the event.
Oh my god, I know this voice actor. I hear this voice actor's voice so often in other games.
Whoa! Is this supposed to be Bullchucker and Crimson Staff? It's so over the top.
Oh, sweet! Sadly, it's not my own original artwork, but check out that design! And that line work! It's so cool! It's epic! It captures exactly how awesome I look as a pro beetle fighter in the heat of battle! Dude! Wait, not that. How do they usually address strangers in this part of the world?
Maybe Esquire?
Ah, that's the one. Tien Esquire, your artwork is incredible. Words cannot express the Arataki gang's gratitude.
I wouldn't mind using Japanese voices, but I just like use English voice acting for the convenience because I don't have to read a lot. And I just find it like easier if I just can play games when I don't have like to actually read the text. Because I like usually divide my attention sometimes doing gaming with other things, or like I'm just lazy reading sometimes. I just like the convenience of it for me. Even though I do also like enjoy playing with Japanese voice acting.
You can drop the Esquire, Don Arataki. Also, I'm no artist, just a storyteller.
But just like for games which I usually just like play more casually or just like most of the time on this side anyway, which you like usually do with gacha games. Yeah. It's just a lot more convenient to have like English voice acting for like things that matter, and then yeah. I prefer than like using like Japanese voices for like games like Trace in the Sky. Which I like playing on my German channel, or like Fate Samurai Remnant. But also mainly there because they don't have English voice acting for those.
This promotional artwork was done by a young lady at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Yenfei looks out for her a lot, so when she heard about your event, she offered to contribute some artwork.
Also, this is weird because it reminds me. So I forgot how his character was called. I know this was in specific from like Fire Emblem Three Houses from Byleth's father, like yeah, father. Um, what was it called again? Mm, can I quickly find it? Because like bothering me today. Yeah, Gerald. It's like literally the same voice of Gerald. And he's like such as like this serious and like cool character there. And he's just form of like a silly NPC. It's kind of weird.
Oh, so this is Yenfei's doing. Man, she really thought of everything. This is exactly what we needed.
Young Grandmaster Hanakado here tells me that your boot camp is an ambitious training program that could shape the future of beetle fighting. Well, I'm no beetle fighter myself, but I've heard a lot about it and have always wanted to try it out for myself.
Also had this weird moment recently when I watched an anime where I recognized a Japanese voice from a character of the Kiseki series, um, which we will like get to know in a few games for those who are like watching me play it on my German channel. We will meet a character called Kia there, which is more like of a little girl character. But she will be like quite relevant to like the main plot. And she's like quite like a cheerful little girl, which is like trying to be quite positive about everything, and like this voice really reflects it. And hearing the same voice on like a different character in an anime, which is like not sharing her like characteristics, was kind of weird to me. I was so often reminded on Kier and like connecting that voice to Kier and then having like Kier on another character where I don't think it fits as well. Was just kind of weird to me. And it kept bothering me every time like I heard her voice.
Who knows? It might just give me the inspiration for a great new story to tell in the neighborhood.
Beetle fighting is something you have to have a natural affinity for. Take sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon, for instance. She battled with great prowess on her first time after only a short demonstration. Once Tien Esquire has grasped the basics of beetle fighting and understands the appeal, we might get a lot of free publicity from his storytelling.
Dude, that'd be awesome. All right, Squirt. Squat. Yeah, Squire. Yeah, Squire. May the best man win.
I do have to do the focus fight first, alright. Okay.
Ah, wonderful. I can see that the Arataki gang has transformed beetle fighting into a fiercely competitive high adrenaline sport. Yes, there are the rudiments of a fine tale here, to be told time and again.
Yeah, I also had like that moment with that like voice in specific because it took me a few minutes to like think back, okay, yeah, that was like Kier's voice because like the first few minutes just kept like buffering really, really hard. Wait, you really know this voice. You know it belongs to a character you care a lot about. Who was it again? And then like once it like made click in my head and I like knew which like character the voice belonged to. I also did like some research what else they also like did. I do have this rarely, but I have like a few cases where I like cared about it. There's also like this for those who like played Tales of Exilia. The English voice actor of like Jude, one of the two main characters there, often also appears in like other like Tales games and more like side characters or like also NPCs and such. Or it also just like appears in like Final Fantasy 14. And whenever like I was like hear his voice, it's like every time when I recognize it, so it's like kind of funny just to me. Because for me, this voice is just like really connected to and just like the Tales series, and then just like, ah, he's also here too. Hello there.
Great dueling with you, Tien Esquire. The pleasure was all right.
The phrase is, the pleasure is all mine, Oni King.
The only problem I have problems remembering names of voice actors. I just like, for some reason, I just like cannot remember voice actors' names.
Details, schmeetails. Point is, thank you for supporting our boot camp.
I extend my gratitude to you too, Don Arataki. I intend to stay here and watch a while longer to further enrich my writing. Please, pay no regard. Just pretend I'm not here.
Man, I've never fought against someone so cultured before. My mind's buzzing from all those fancy words. What's that buzzy feeling called again? Oh yeah, learning.
Something Itto
Looks like
doesn't
the
know.
Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp is getting off to a good start.
That Itto is so weird, like, about learning. It's like, probably explains why he's acting like he is. Oh, I do have to replay Final Fantasy 15 at some point.
I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
I only played it on release, and I also actually got the platinum trophy on PS4 for it. But since release, they did so many updates to the game and like completely reworked how like the last story chapter works and like made Insomnia like a proper playable area with side quests and everything. I never experienced that. Also, like, never did like the Omega Weapon super boss fight because at the time where I was playing the game, this boss didn't exist yet. I'm actually kind of like interested in like curious of like doing that content. And actually just like replaying it for a bit. I also didn't like play all of like the episode, like character episode DLCs. I think I only played like Gladiuses and Promptos once. Yeah. So never played like Ignis or episode Ignis or like episode Arden.
Oni Kabuto are our friends, like cats and doggies.
Another kid? Oh, didn't we go through this last time?
Well, yeah, but Grandmaster Hanakado's a kid too. And one of the other kids from last time was actually pretty good, so age is no measure of a beetle fighter's skill.
And I do actually like have like bought the Windows version like at this point probably already like a year ago, but like never played the Windows version. Like the Windows version has like of the updates. Like the Windows edition should like include all of like the Royal Edition stuff, which had like all of the updates.
Although, Buttercup of Terror has no prior beetle battling experience, her chosen Oni Kabuto has the air of a formidable warrior.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. My Oni Kabuto was a present from Daddy. He got it from a new friend he made last time he was away.
Oh, your father sounds like a real stand-up guy. Okay, let's send out sky-cleaving white-iron lavender melon for this one. We don't want any accusations of bullying flying around.
Huh! You make it sound like Paimon's the weakest choice on our side! Still, Paimon's probably the safest choice. But only because you two maniacs are a danger to yourselves and others when you're in a competitive mood. Don't be nervous, young lady. It's only a game, so it's just for fun.
Yeah, as I said, I played it on release, and like the episodes like released like quite a few months later, like in like intervals. And like already at the time where like episode Prompto came out, I was like already in my mind I already like I was like done with the game at this point. And like didn't really have like the motivation to get back to it because at this point like you're already done with the story for yourself. And whenever like I finish a game, it's always like at the point where I will say, okay, I'm satisfied with it for now, and I don't need like to play it for at least like the next few years. With some exceptions. With like games I really like, I have like no problems with that. But with like games which are just like, yeah, okay, I do enjoyed it, but it's like not the best game ever. I always have like once I'm done with them, I don't feel like going back to them for like at least a while. And yeah, it like really killed my motivation to like play those DLCs on release and the episodes. Because at this point, the story wasn't that fresh in my mind. And like having to try to remember and like connect everything while we were not like involved with it for a while was like, eh. That's why I really like at this point I kind of like prefer playing games once like all of the DLC stuff and everything released and not play them on release. Just because I like don't have like that issue that like when getting back to the games for the DLCs that I have like to sorry, got interrupted there for a moment. Where was I? Yep. Whenever I get like to back to the DLCs, I always have like the problem that like the story is like not fresh on my mind until like I don't remember all like of the details. And it like makes the DLD less enjoyable for me in those cases. Especially if it's like DLCs that have like story content and like relation to the story. So which are like plot relevant. Yeah. That's why like nowadays like really prefer playing games once they have like have had all like their updates and DLCs. Which can for some games can like take half a year up to 2 years until like all of these DLCs are out. And I don't want to play like a game for like 2 years at least, like when it's like single player, not games which are like not like lifetime service games, like gacha games. Gacha games are kind of an exception with the like continuous release stuff, but games like Final Fantasy or like Xenoblade Chronicles or like those games, they are like not built in mind with them to be like continuously updated, usually. Or like the way that their structures are not built for that with their story and everything. And it just really bothers me. It's just like a trend I currently like particularly if I do not like.
Oh, I nearly died of a heart attack. That little beastie is fierce. Even I would have had a hard time. How'd you get so freaking good at this without a teacher? Is everyone in Liyue a born warrior or something?
So, this is how Oni Kabuto play together? I get it now! Do you have time to play some more? And I also want to watch you guys play too. Looks like Buttercup of Terror has a real knack for this. Oh, kinda terrifying. Hey, Bullchucker, if you had this kind of talent, You could probably have learned how to communicate with shelled creatures just by listening to Goba talk to Crystal Tornado.
Ha! Yeah, I wish.
This was like the next one of like the current games where that actually bothers me. I kind of was happy about it that they like said that they don't have any DLCs planned for Final Fantasy 16. Because that's just like mean it's like a one and done thing. You play through it and it's like probably completely done. But now in the end, they announced 2 DLCs after all, which they like had to develop, which like takes time for them to like get done. Which like makes you like just again makes you wait for DLCs while you're already done with it in your mind, and then it's like story DLCs, and then you have to like remember what happened in the story. And yeah, you run into the same problem. At least for me, it's like not like a problem, but like a thing I really do not enjoy. This is like not how I like wanna experience stories in like such a fractured and like long separated like in a time like in the point of view of like a time scale in such like a long drawn out separated manner. I wanna like enjoy a complete package and not like fragments one at a time with like long pauses. And also kind of like sounds weird me complaining about this when I'm playing a game like Genshin. I make an exception of it for like a few games. Because it is okay, there's like I can say for a period, okay, there are like a few games where I can say I can like play them daily or like not like daily but like regularly. But yes, like you only have time for like so many games to like
Hey
do this
there,
for.
I'm back. So then, how's the Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp coming along?
That's why I'm like just like limiting myself to like the Horrorverse games, as you can like tell from the streams. So yeah, I'm not really like playing much of any other gacha, at least like not like as regularly as I like do with the Horrorverse games.
Great timing, Yanthe.
My savior! Oh, thanks for helping out with the permit. Oh, and for the sign with the epic artwork. Wait, I know that look. Are you, looking to flip some beetle too?
Huh? Something wrong with that?
And at least they're like in this cases, these games are like actually properly structured for that, also story wise, and you do get like updates for it more regularly than like you do for like you like I say like more typical game with like the DLCs, which have like way longer breaks in between. the content bits you do get from the DLC do not compare from like the package you get from at the start. So yeah.
I have a big client who does a lot of cross-border commerce. Anyway, she showered me with gifts once after I helped her win a huge lawsuit, and among them was a very special Oni Kabuto. I didn't know how to look after it at the time, so I got Granny to look after it for a while. It's looking pretty buff these days.
So why does Yanfei get the name as contestant with super OP gear? I mean, if you don't have like anything to say to it or like that much of like a formed opinion on it than I do, then it's like fine. It's just like a thing like bothers me, and like I do know not like everyone shares that same sentiment. That's also fine if you just do not know what to say.
Mind if I join in? You're not worried I'll cramp your style, are you?
We ought not dismiss your savior, Oni King. What she lacks in experience, she makes up for with one of the sturdiest built and most awe-inspiring Oni Kabuto I have ever seen.
You make me an offer I can't refuse.
A lot of freebie actually tend to do that if they like do not know what to say, to just like put like an emoji or like sticker on that. I knew before because that's like common behavior, and I already can tell that's like the case for you.
All right, time to send in the Oni King's right hand with Crimson Staff. I know my compadre will stay cool under pressure.
So it's me versus the Traveler? All right! I haven't quite got the hang of this game yet, so apologies in advance for any blunders. Yanfei's Oni Kabuto is so strong! What has Madame Peng been feeding that thing?
See? Your savior's Oni Kabuto is a force to be reckoned with. But just like last time, when my generals threw you a few curveballs, the mightiest blade cannot slay its foe except in the hands of a skilled swordmaster.
Wise words, Grandmaster. Oh, okay. Good thing my compadre kept it together.
Wow, what a blast! I could get into this whole beetle battling thing.
Please don't, Yanfei.
This is so much fun. Thanks, everyone. I'm gonna stick around and play some more.
Yeah, I can understand what you think because it's a bit rough. It's like mainly like intended to be German to like then like talk and respond on in English. Or that, or like, yeah, put stickers on that. But I mean, I do not mind it. If you just like put stickers in the chat for like activity or such. At least I do not. I wouldn't know about like other viewers will like see it afterwards, but hey. Yeah. But in general, at least like I do play some games which are like in English because they have like no German translation. At least for those games I play on my German channel, I also like have not that much of a problem with like people chatting English as well. I do not in general, but like when I'm already playing a game that's like mainly in English anyway, it's like at least to artists it's not that more bothersome because it's like kind of expected that you'll have like to deal with English in one way or another anyway. And this will like happen a lot because I like will like probably always have a project going on where like one will at least be a game which I only can play in English because it has like no German localization. This is also like kind of the main reason because of which I like learned English because I play a lot of JRPGs, as you probably may can tell, and for a lot of JRPGs you have no German localization. If you're like even for quite a few, you don't even have like an English localization. This is like also kind of sad. But yeah, those who have like a German localizations are like on like the mainstream one, like Final Fantasy and such. But for like the more niche ones, and I kind of like actually want to focus more on like the niche ones and introduce them like to a bigger audience. So yeah. Yeah, it is sad, but I also can like at least understand like the reasoning behind it, and not like to like not translate every game into like every English every language there is, because it is a lot of work and like carries a lot of cost, not only financially but also in time and like manpower. So yeah. Oh. It's sort of like, you know, like 4 battles. It's not that much, not that many actually.
No, this makes no sense. How did you do that? My reputation is destroyed!
What the fuck's going on?
It's like a bean to the heart.
It was an honor doing battle with you, good sir.
What the? So polite.
So, been busy losing while we were away, Bullchucker?
I don't see it that way. Unless the bona fide beetle battle king is ready to give up now, he hasn't lost to me yet. In battle and in life, it's normal to hit setbacks every once in a while, but a setback only turns into a failure if you make the decision to stop trying.
Word. Heck yeah! I ain't about to admit defeat yet.
Still, there's nothing to be gained from constantly making excuses. Don't put all your energy into talking garbage. Spend it on fighting a little harder instead.
Talking garbage is what he does all day though. I know I'm like not complaining about like the amount of rewards. I'm just like more complaining, I guess, about the amount of content. Because like at least lately, I feel like when they're like not reusing game mechanics from like previous events, when they're like doing newer ones, the amount of like levels or like missions, fight, whatever you want to call it, they actually make for it is like quite small. And I do enjoy like these more mini game kind of like events more than like your combat trial focused events. Because like doing your normal fighting is what you already do in your normal like doing your normal gameplay. I don't need that many events built around it already when I like do it a lot in this game anyway. That's why I enjoy like these more like simpler mini game things. Especially if they like got some actually pretty interesting like ideas or well thought out like mechanics. But yeah. Either there's like in my opinion a bit too little of it. Or like the story around it is just not interesting. I said who feel like a lot with like these Itto focused events. I just like do not care much about his characters and like in conclusion also not much about like these stories evolving around him, but hey. I do like this like beetle fighting minigame at least a bit.
Oh, burn.
Oni King, this brand of enemy doesn't seem to be your area of expertise. I advise you send in another of your generals and observe the duel in detail. Watching others do battle is also a crucial part of a warrior's training. Some skills one learns by doing, others one learns through observation.
Good point, Grandmaster. And good timing, compadre. Oni King's right hand, I'm handing the fight over to you.
Ah! Finally, it's your turn! Make it count, Traveler.
So, I'm going head to head with the legendary Traveler. Guess I better look sharp.
Also, why they're like giving me like tutorials about the controls when they already gave them to me at the start? Kind of weird, but okay.
Nicely done. You beat me. I'd go as far as to say that it's an honor to lose against the Traveler.
Ah, so that's how you do it. I never would have thought of that.
Yep, when you're up against a cunning enemy, you gotta get creative. When your tactics fail, you have to change your point of view. In our journeys far and wide, we often have to think on our feet.
Sure, fire a question. What is it?
Clinging to old methods can never solve the problem, no matter how hard you try.
I think Shinobu said something like that once too. I guess there's something to it after all. But I'll mull it over some other time. Right now, my focus is on the task at hand. More beetle fighting!
A bit, because like they actually like put a lot of effort into these lantern ride events. And they do like them exploring a bit more lore background of Lyra in those. Because you can like, I feel like you notice it a lot when you like compare the regions to like the start of the game, because if you like compare Mondstadt and Liyue to like the other nations, you notice that there are like a lot of things about the lore that the game actually hasn't told you yet about those regions. Other than for like Inazuma, Sumeru, and like Fontaine, you usually explore most of the lore relating to those regions in their like dedicated versions and their like world quests and everything. Which you can like notice, because I feel like, when was the last time we actually had like some kind of focused event around Inazuma, which actually had some interesting lore to it? It has been like quite a long time. And what I think like what is doing, that they're like saving some of the Liyue like lore specifically for like the Lantern Ride events. And what I'm guessing what they're gonna do with Mondstadt is, when like the game is actually like with its story like progressing towards more of its finale. So probably more like once we like reach Snezhnaya, or like mostly done with Snezhnaya, I would guess that they will shift the focus back to Mondstadt, to give us a bit of a lot more lore about Mondstadt in around that time. Because there's like, is at least when I am watching like a bit of like lore analysis and like lore theory stuff about Genshin, and there are like quite a lot of hints that like Mondstadt will actually be a lot more important to the story later on than it is at the moment. Yeah. And hey, there we go. So I'm kind of excited for the Lantern Ride for that like aspect, because it gives us like a bit more lore. This time focused around Cloud Retainer, as it looks like. I also have like some interesting mini games, and what like the Lantern Ride actually like does really well is like getting characters of other regions together and have them like play off of each other and like explore a bit how like their relation, like when they get to know each other, how like relationships between those like play out. And also like actually often it's like some funny and interesting like moments, just having like characters who do like who wouldn't usually see each other like actually get to meet like that. Probably, as you like could tell, like do quite what I like really enjoying games is like a story and like character interaction and like character development. I almost messed that one up. Oh, we actually get to, like, fight against Guoba, I guess.
Hey, good to see everyone. How's it going? Having fun? Shangling Guava, you finally made it. Well, Bullchucker's certainly having a blast.
The day has finally come! Woba-san, I've been training hard at the Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp, and now I want to show you just how far I've come. And Crimson Staff, too. If my progress satisfies you, then please, teach me. Show me the way to communicate with Crimson Staff, Crystal Tornado, and all the shelled organisms of this world. Do that, and I swear, once I become the reigning champion of the beetle fighting world, I will build a mighty statue in your image at the Arataki Gang's beetle fighting headquarters. What the? Guoba-san got a brand new Oni Kabuto.
That does not look normal.
Guoba certainly seems suddenly hooked on all of this. Even though he seemed a bit confused about it at the start.
Bah! It appears to be not a typical Oni Kabuto shell, but one built of resilient wood. Is it wearing a suit of armor?
We told Granny all about your Oni Kabuto boot camp. It really piqued her interest when she heard that Guoba was getting a disciple. As it turned out, a friend of hers had made a whole bunch of gardening and landscaping machines to look after the silk flowers on the terrace. They're called bloom pruners. The bloom pruner can transform into the shape of any creature to blend into its environment. Squirrels, butterflies, finches, you name it. And of course, Oni Kabuto too.
Don't tell me Cloud Retainer was the one who like developed those.
So, Master gave Guoba a bloom pruner and got it to take the form of an Oni Kabuto so it can battle against you. That's pretty high tech for a gardening appliance.
True.
Xiangling's master is Madame Ping, so Madame Ping's friend... Aha! Of course!
No machine can compare to a real live Oni Kabuto warrior. Did Guoba-san pick a dumbed-down enemy on purpose so we can showcase all our awesome skills?
You may be wise to temper your optimism, Oni King. My beetle senses are failing to detect this Oni Kabuto's might. Or perhaps... it's too profound for me to fathom.
Also, Shana, what I'm actually more excited for is actually like Penacony in Star Rail, which will be coming like out next week, I think. It should be coming out soon. And also like watch all like the trailers surrounding it, and it already looks like it's gonna be like just as ridiculous as like before. With like having a trash king and everything. I'm not sure what I should feel about this. I kind of want them to be a bit more serious with the story, but they kind of like bring in like a lot of these quite a lot of these silly things. But yeah. Also, like the song they made for Penacony, actually quite nice.
It's not even alive. There's nothing for you to sense. Anyway, Guoba-san may possess limitless power, but a warrior needs to be one with his weapon. The bond between Oni Kabuto and Trainer is forged through blood, sweat, and tears, not wood, mesh, and gears. Crimson Staff and I are like glove and fist. Let's get this duel going. It's time for Guoba-san to witness my true potential once and for all.
Okay, let's see how we can fight against the machine. He got yeeted back quite a bit. Okay, apparently he can teleport. Nice commentary, Google.
Whoa, Bullchecker sure made short work of the bloom pruner.
I won! Victory is mine! With my trusty crimson staff, I have defeated the mighty Guobasan! Phew. Alrighty then. The moment I've been waiting for. Guobasan, if I have earned your recognition, I humbly ask you to teach me the ways of shelled organism communication.
Also, I said I do not like Arataka Itto's characters much, but I definitely gotta give props to the voice actor. He like really portrays Itto's energy quite well with his voice. Like, he does a really good work to like portray the energy Itto has with his voice the same way like the animation of him does. I definitely gotta give props to that.
Huh? Guobasan, you look pleased? But you just lost to me in battle. Does this mean you're proud of me for my swift progress? Oh, shucks. I don't know what to say. You're too kind, Guobasan. Oh, you're just being modest. I know you were going easy on me.
It looks like Guoba's all warmed up now. The bloom pruner is ready to operate at full power. Guoba, remember the plan? In this round, we want to increase the bloom pruner's power output from 0.1% to 1%, okay?
Yeah. The voice actor is kind of what saves Itto's character for me. In a way. I do have him, but yeah, I probably will never use him. I have like 2 friends who like really wanted to get Itto and like really like Itto as a character. And I'm just like, so nah, I don't like his character. I don't really like don't feel his playstyle at all, like as like for combat. The only thing that really saves him for me is like the voice actor, because like the voice actor is actually doing quite nice work with him. That it like makes it a bit enjoyable for me that way, and a bit more bearable. But hey,
Any higher and you'll risk knocking Itto's Onikabuto out cold. Okay, there it is. Paimon knew something was up.
they lost on purpose to Itto.
As I feared, we have barely scratched the surface.
Wait, hold on a minute. 0.1%? As in 0.1%? As in 1/1000th? You've gotta be kidding me. All that was just 1/1000th of its top power?
Guoba's a little confused. You did say you wanted to train your Oni Kabuto to defeat Crystal Tornado, correct? I thought it would go without saying given the size. The bloom pruner has to shift rocks the size of casserole dishes, so obviously it has to be pretty strong. Even then, Crystal Tornado is bigger still. It dwarfs me and Guoba, and it's even taller than you!
Well, he's a comedy relief character. Comedic relief characters usually do such nonsensical stuff. It's also just like an aspect of his character which I feel like, why did they even bring this in? It just like fits the purpose of his character, yes, but it doesn't do anything for me. But so does his whole character. His whole character doesn't really do anything for me and for this game, in my opinion. But that is just like just my own sentiment. I do know there are like a lot of people who actually like his character. I just don't share that opinion.
That's impossible! If we were talking, twice as strong as the last fight, I think I'd have a shot. 10 times as strong, and we're already looking at losing most, if not all, of the time. About 1,000 times stronger? Who am I kidding? It's hopeless.
When your tactics fail, you have to change your point of view. In our journeys far and wide, we often have to think on our feet. Clinging to old methods can never solve the problem, no matter how hard you try.
And have we ever said that?
Of course, Guoba-san. This is what you've been trying to tell me all along. I gotta study mechanics. Then build a suit of armor for Crimson Staff that'll take his abilities to a whole new level. Or maybe, heck, I could build a bigger, stronger mechanical Oni Kabuto, piloted by Crimson Staff under my direction.
Oni Kabuto, mech for Oni Kabuto. Do you really wanna do this?
An Oni Kabuto piloting a mechanical Oni Kabuto? How do you expect to pull that off? Does that even still count as a beetle battle?
Seeing the power of Bloom Pruner has made me realize something. There's a natural limit to Oni Kabuto's strength. People have tried to tell me this before. Shinobu, the Grandmaster, especially Sky-Cleaving White Iron Lavender Melon. Admitting defeat is shameful, but not even trying to mix up your tactics one time? That's just plain stupid!
Yeah, but this Boba thing is... They do this Boba thing, I feel like, for every Inazuma character. And like, Ayaka and Ayato is supposed to be like big Boba lovers as well. And yeah, you have like... For some things, you have like to suspend your disbelief for some of the stuff they do. But it's just like comes with the territory of like the kind of game this is. You will always have stuff like this where you have like suspend your disbelief a bit and like overlook stuff like that. Just like a bit of limitations games have.
Guoba-san has shown me a new path. Mechanically modified Oni Kabuto. With this new technique in my arsenal, size will be no obstacle to me and my valiant beetle warriors as we set out to beat Crystal Tornado once and for all.
Looks like Woba's not too sure about all that. Mechanics, huh? I'd have to get my master to see if her friend would be willing to help. She's the expert.
Did you say expert? Please, Guoba-san, Chef-sama, my savior, introduce me.
thinking of becoming the second Arataki gang member to study in Liyue, are you, boss?
He does it all the time. Oh, by the way, this Boba thing reminds me what is the cool mod show? It's just like a little visual thing, but I really like it.
Shinobu, when'd you get back?
Time's up. We spent our last mora on these boat tickets, and if we don't get to the harbor pronto, they'll go to waste.
Give me a minute, okay? We're in the middle of an extremely important discussion here.
Yeah, I heard. I was actually very pleased to hear the suggestion of you doing some sort of studying coming out of your own mouth. I have some relevant experience, so I can write a little booklet to get you started. But unfortunately, studying in Liyue is very expensive. The Arataki gang's typical expenditures are a drop in the ocean by comparison. So, what do you intend to do about it?
It'll be fine. I'll work like a horse when I get back to Inazuma. I know what I'm getting into here, all right? I got it all planned out in my head. It's not like I've never gotten paid work before. Soon as I get earning, we'll all have cash for the burning.
This just like, which is just reminded me of, you kind of have like no idea of like a bit of the scale on how the economy works here into that, and like pricing and stuff. They just say like this stuff is like expensive, or they don't have like the money for it, or stuff like that. And sometimes like throw out a number without like you having like any context of what it actually like means to have that much more or use that much more. And in turn, the thing you use more for the most often is not part of your typical economy of Tibet. You use it for like leveling up your characters, leveling their talents. I don't feel like this is like an in-law thing people use their money for, and this is like, in this case, in those cases, your money just like goes to the void. You don't really have like any like sense of scale on how like the economy in Tibet works. And the few things you can like buy in shops, they're like so minor, not that much relevant to like a typical playthrough. Yeah.
And don't think for 1 second I'll be abandoning you or the rest of the Arataki gang neither. I ain't the kind of head honcho that runs off to go study and leaves his gang behind. If we're gonna study, we do it as a team. Once I've got enough mora for everyone's tuition fees, the whole Arataki gang is coming to Liyue. We'll study together, learn some epic new skills together, and come out the other side as the stronger, smarter, invincible Arataki gang.
You're saying all of the right things. Who are you and what have you done with Boss?
Wow, Bullchucker! Those were some bold words! You better make sure you follow through.
He probably won't. Or if they like start doing any kind of tuition, he probably will like bail out of it in like, I give him 1 hour tops before he bails out of like any kind of study.
Of course, I still need to iron out some deets in terms of what kind of work I can get and how much I can rake in per day, but yeah.
In that case, Oni King, I'll stay here in Liyue. Firstly, this will enable me to follow up with Chef-sama and discuss our study plans in detail. Secondly, now that word of the Arataki Blazing Armor Beetle Battle Boot Camp has begun to spread, I'll be able to scout for talented warriors and continue optimizing the Oni Kabuto training diet. Also, if the Oni King's right hand and sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon wish to continue battling or analyze the battle so far, I'll be here to support them.
Awesome! Good thinking, Grandmaster! Okay, standard procedure applies. I'll let you grandpops know what you're up to so we won't worry about you. Man, I am so pumped to see what you'll have for us next time I see you.
I do need to make one thing clear, though. I can't promise that we'll be able to talk an Adeptus into taking you on as students. Yenfei and I will do our best, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
The great master of whom you speak boasts a skill others can only dream of. Their pride and prestige don't faze us. The important thing is that I, on behalf of the Oni King and the Arataki gang, can find a way to show them we're serious and sincere in our quest to master the mechanical arts.
Do you really expect Cloud Retainer to put up with Arataki Itto and his antics? This can only end up in trouble.
So I'll need to do some research to find out what kind of gift we should offer if we're to be seen as worthy of learning the mysteries behind the manufacture of the bloom pruner.
Boss, we gotta leave right now or we're not gonna make it in time.
And I'm saying this because Cloud Retainer has her own antics, and I don't think their specific antics won't mix well. I feel like it would like only cause trouble.
All right, I guess this is it.
Traveler, Paimon, Yanfei-senpai, Miss Xiangling, Guoba. You've all been a huge help to Boss with this beetle battle event. I really can't thank you enough. Please, take this as a token of my gratitude. I hope you can find some use for it in your future endeavors.
Wow, you got us a gift! Thanks, Shinobu. You're so thoughtful.
The time has come. Adios, compadre. See ya, sky-cleaving white iron lavender melon. Goodbye, Guoba-san and Chef-sama. And farewell, my savior. I'll be back real soon, I promise. We'll meet again.
La 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 la. Don't make promises you can't keep, Bullchucker.
At these times, I kind of really wonder what Guoba's actually thinking about. If he like actually is following the conversation, or is like already like shut off his mind and just like is not even following into doing like his own stuff already.
It's good to have ambitions, but don't let yourself get carried away in the heat of the moment. Do what Shinobu tells you. Be realistic about what you can achieve, and make sure you pace yourself. But of course, if everything works out, Paimon can't wait to see Crimson Staff driving a ginormous mechanical Onikabuto the next time we meet.
I feel you, Crystal Tornado. I would also make that face in your case. Yeah, you do have like a fifth fight here. Stop spamming your orbs. Okay. Okay, I think I'm actually like done with this now then. Yep. Okay. Since I like intend to catch up on some events on this stream and not only in Genshin, I will actually be doing a short break here, bathroom break and everything, and we will switching over to the Honkai Impact 3rd, because there's all like some event stuff I wanna catch up. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Saying actually because I said I would show a lot of things, but I actually forgot it before the break. I found this as a little mod. And I kind of like it, like having them those emote stickers as like in like the selection list for characters. Because there's some like really cool and funny ones. Kind of really like characters, especially like the Shan one, for example. Or the Navia. But yeah. Yep, I kind of want to find another one to just show that. Why is... I'm just noticing it. Oh. I actually thought I had like a mod for Navia active, but when going for like all the mods and like checking if they still work and everything and look good or not, yesterday I kind of forgot to put her mod pack in, but hey, happens. I'll fix it. Okay. But now we actually want to switch to Honkai Impact 3rd.